everybody. I hope this video finds you all healthy and well. I have a long belt here. You can use a bathrobe strap or a couple of neckties tied together. We're not bathrobe people, and I think Paul has one tie somewhere, so luckily I have a long belt. What we're going to do, I'll show you from behind, is the harness belt. So you put it right by the shoulder blades, the bottom of the shoulder blades, and then you put it up. So you have these two tails here. So it goes over the shoulders, you have these two tails, and then you cross in the back. It's a good idea to have both ends similar length. And then you can pull the belt up a little bit so it's up here right on the muscle. Okay, and what you'll do is, standing in Tadasana, is pull down and slightly outward on the belt, and you'll feel that it automatically lifts your chest up. And it usually gives a nice light feeling to the head and the neck. So if we don't do this, we just go back to our default. The shoulders roll forward, the chest drops a little bit, and we spend a lot of time in this position, with whatever we're doing in our life. So it is good to make sure you do the opposite of what you are typically doing in your life to balance things out. Okay, so I'm just pulling down and slightly out. You'll feel that bit of activity going on in between the shoulder blades, down by the bottoms of the shoulder blades. That's a good thing. Those muscles tend to be weak on us, the muscles that help to press the shoulder blades into the back. So you can stay here for a little bit. All right, take a few breaths. You can close your eyes if you'd like. And then open your eyes once again. And what you can do, you don't have to do this right now, we are going to take this off, but if you tend to have shoulders that roll forward, and that's kind of, somebody's always saying stand up straight, right? What you can do, I don't know if I'll get a double knot out of this, is you can just use this as a reminder, right? I'm just tying a little double knot. Use this as a reminder while you're doing stuff, while you're doing your dishes or whatever it is, right? If you're reading, if you're at the computer, this can be, it's not gonna, if I really wanted to, I could still slump, but it's a good reminder to keep your posture, uplifted, and our breathing actually improves, right? When the shoulder blades are pressed into the back that way. Okay, so you take that off, and you all have a yoga mat, I believe, right? What I'm going to do is roll up this mat. Try to roll your mat neatly, tightly, as best you can. Okay, so now I want to keep this flap here on the bottom and in that same direction for what is to come. All right, hopefully it doesn't unroll on you as you lie down. Okay. You can take your hair, pull the base of the skull and the hair out of the way. And my shoulders are on the floor. And I'm just getting this nice traction in the back of the neck. Now this is my thicker mat. So my head is actually just off the floor. You probably can't see that because of my hair. But it's going to be a different experience depending on how thick your mat is, okay? Using a thinner mat, the back of the head may touch the floor, right? It doesn't really matter. You just want to relax the back of the neck. Let your shoulders relax. Take a few breaths here. And imagine that the back of the neck is just spreading out. The muscles are moving away from the bones. And you can, just nice and easy, start rolling the head a little bit from side to side. And you can feel the bones at the base of the skull here. There's muscle attachments there. So when you roll onto those bones, onto the side, and it's like you're gently massaging. If you have one side that is a little more painful, those of you that have any neck pain or tenderness there, you can just kind of work through that, breathing. And then come back to center and see if you can let go even a little bit more. So the weight of the head, you really feel the weight of the head relaxing. And so the next piece, this can be a little tricky, and honestly I've never done this on a carpet, so I don't know if it'll work on a carpet. You guys can report back to me, those of you practicing on carpets. The next piece, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my hair, especially if you have long hair. I should have told you this before, you should have put it maybe up on top of your head. So I'm holding my hair, and I have my shoulders now right, instead of being down here, they're just right on top of the mat. And what we're going to do is to press with the feet. I lift the buttocks up, I press with the feet, and I'm rolling. And I'm feeling the skin on my back moving downward. And eventually you are coming to, you can move your feet if you need to, you're coming to that place right where you had the belt before. So right at the bottom of the shoulder blades. And all of the skin on the back and the muscles and the fascia and everything has gotten drawn down away from the neck. You should feel a chest opening here. If you're feeling too much in your lower back, you can bend your legs and just breathe. This can be strong for some people. Right? It can be very strong. This is not, this thoracic area is not really a part of the body that has a lot of mobility to it. You know, there's a lot of ribs there. But we really need to learn to move in this direction, right? In order to keep the lungs healthy, in order to keep our, the lift in the chest. And then to come out, you get another little massage here by rolling to one side and then rolling over to the other side. Go back and forth a couple of times. If you move up or down on the mat, it's fine. You're just massaging in between the ribs. And then you can make your way up. Right, so flatten down a little bit. Take your mat now and put it this way. Right, so now I'm going to get an opening the other way. And what I find is this edge here can be a little bit sharp. So when you lie down, you want to kind of smush that down a little bit. And you lie down with that right in the center of the spine. Now the nature of rolling down like that did the exact opposite of what we're looking for. So all of this now is coming up here. So what you have to do is maybe take your hands, and you see the difference, hopefully, right? So the back of the head is on the mat, and the mat is running down the length of the spine. My buttocks is on the floor. And straighten your legs. And breathe. And you can pull the flesh on the back out to the sides a little bit. And you can feel that mat running right down the spine. And maybe you can feel how your shoulder blades almost wrap around it. The inner edges of the shoulder blades, I can feel right along the sides of the mat there. Taking a few breaths. And then to come out, you bend your legs, roll onto your side, and push yourself up. Okay, you can take the same roll, do one more thing with this. Take the same roll and come to a wall. Right, you come to a wall, and this is going to go behind me. So you want to start with your feet a little bit away from the wall. My legs are slightly bent. And you start with the mat, it's down by the tailbone. Right? It's down kind of by the tailbone. And then when you press your legs straight, the mat, the grip of the mat is going to draw all of that flesh down. Right? So you, again, you get another little assist in your posture. Right? The only thing that happens is that your t-shirt can choke you. Right? I'm stepping my feet in a little bit. And now imagine you could squeeze, right? So can you see how I'm squeezing my elbows? You squeeze. There's an external, right here, external rotation in the arms. And then release. And put your mat back out. Do you all have 2 blocks? I hope so. Or a block and, I don't know, maybe a couple of books or something. So I put these out like that. Some of you might end up needing a blanket for this. Okay, I'll show you without the blanket first, and then I'll put it in. Okay, so this is another pose that can feel pretty strong. Okay, so you want your head supported. You want this block, can you see where that is? You want this block along the shoulder blades. It's at the spine, it's at the upper spine. It's not on my neck at all, right? So the pose gets easier when I lift the buttocks up, okay? Maybe not easier in the legs and in the butt muscles, but it gets easier feeling right here at this corner, okay? That's probably where you're going to feel it most. And then you get a little bit of opening. You feel the sharpness of that, the corner of the block, pressing in at the ribs. Now that's where the blanket comes in. If it's too much, you go here and you're like, oh my God, I can't take it. What you can do is you put a blanket here so it raises the floor. If that's still too much, you make it even higher, okay? So we'll just take a few breaths here, going down. Breathe. Relax in here, relax underneath your ribs. Relax your neck and relax your eyes. And go up and come down. Inhale back up. One last time down. And then to come out, you can just place your hands and push yourself up. And give a little twist to your side, and then the other side. First side again. Second side. And then back to center. Okay, you can take these blocks and put them against your wall. I'm assuming everybody has walls. You might need to rearrange your house to do these yoga practices, but that's worth doing. All right, so I'm gonna place this part of my hand here. It's not my wrist, it's just the base of the hand here. I'm placing that right at the corner of the blocks. And I'm lifting my fingers up. Okay, and right from there, I come into dog pose. And then you can come down. I want this block, this is say almost a headstand. Okay, there's really not much weight on your head at all though here. I want this block to end up here. Okay, except it's going to have a wall behind it. So watch how I come in. It can be a little tricky. If you have somebody at home with you, they can insert the block for you. Right, but it can be done just with you here. So I'm on my elbows, and I have the block, I think, pretty much where I want it. I don't want it on my neck. I'm holding it with my fingers, and I press upward, and then I get my arms into a headstand position. My head is actually free here, meaning it's off the floor. Okay, so I'm in this headstand position with the block pressing into the spine there, which feels really nice if you get it in the right spot. Take a few breaths. Release your neck. And then to come down. You do your best to hold the block with your back as you're coming down, but these are foam blocks. I don't think any of you guys have wood blocks at home. These are pretty light. If this were to slip and, you know, knock you a little bit, it's only a foam block. So you should be fine. Okay. So, take your hands and, oh, if you want padding for your knees, you can put, you know, blanket under your knees if it's hard to be down here. So take your hands, have your fingers forward, press into the floor, and I want you to arch up like this. Okay, so it's like I'm pushing the floor away, the shoulder blades are spreading away from one another. And then do the opposite. Okay, so doing the opposite. Make this more about your upper back than your lower back. I could go this way. Right, so I'll do it again. So arch, upward, from the shoulder blades. Yes, my tailbone is tucking underneath. It has to in this position. Shoulder blades are moving away from the spine. And now, nice and slow, I start to come more neutral. Right? Now I'm spreading my collarbones. I lift the head a little bit, just a little bit. And now I can feel the shoulder blades pressing toward the spine a bit more. And the arm bones are more retracted into the shoulder sockets. Okay, but you don't want to go so far that you start to get this huge dip in the lower back. Don't put this in your lower back at all. Keep it all right up here. Okay, so arch again. And then come the other way. So this is a retraction of the shoulder blades. Yes, the spine is moving too, but my focus is on the shoulder blades. And then push the floor away from you. This is a protraction of the shoulder blades. Coordinate your breath with your movement. Retract the shoulder blades. That's where I lift the head a little bit. Don't lift the head so much that you're up here though. We want to keep the neck nice and open. Tuck and protract the shoulder blades. And then one more time, retract. Open the chest. This is more like a mini back bend. And then come to neutral. Okay. And I want some padding for my knees. Why should I be here suffering with no padding? Okay. So you have your hands here. Externally rotate your arms. Right, so that movement comes from up here. You're externally rotating. The way you can tell that you're doing that is the creases of your elbows will roll forward. And then internally rotate. Don't go too far with this so that your elbows bend though. Externally rotate. Internally rotate. Externally rotate. Come to neutral. And here's a doozy. Turn your fingers backward. You might not be able to get all the way there. You might have to go here. Right? It's fine. Right? Turn the fingers backward. If you want a little bit more, you start to walk back. I think I did this in one of the first videos too, so sorry to be repetitive. And so now I'm stretching all the way down through the forearms. And then turn back forward. You can sit on your heels. If you can sit on your heels. If you can't sit on your heels, sit some other way. Right? You can sit in a chair if you'd like to. Interlace your fingers, invert your palms. Take your arms up. Pump the arms back a bit. Switch the interlace. Pull back. Interlace behind you. Roll the shoulders back. Drop your chin down toward your chest. I'm pumping the arms. Switch the interlace. Same thing. And then release. Okay, go back to your belt. And you're going to make a tiny loop. Those of you with bathrobe straps, I guess you could tie a little knot. So really tiny. Because what I want is just for my hands, that's even too big, just for my hands to fit in there. So that's pretty good. So the fingers slip in and the thumbs are out. Okay, I'm gonna take this off so I can get down. All right, so what you will do is I'm gonna lie on the floor. You may not be able to see this when I take my arms overhead, but you'll get the point. I'm lying down on the floor, legs are straight, pushing into the wall, so I'm getting that same tractioning in the lower back, and then this is going to help me get a really nice Urdhva Namaskar. Okay, so the palms are together, they're not coming apart because they can't. Okay, shoulder issues, if this is just not okay for you to go all the way up overhead, you can see where you can go. If you really get stuck, you just hold the belt like this, even with the arms wide is fine. Okay, so Urdhva Namaskar, you're getting a nice lengthening through the sides. My hands end up doing a little bit of the opposite of what they would do in Urdhva Namaskar if I didn't have the belt. If I didn't have the belt, I would have to be pressing my palms together. Here, I'm actually using the belt to press out into, but I'm getting a really nice opening in my shoulders. So then you'll take a Warrior One. Easiest Warrior One you've ever done. Okay, so you have Warrior One here, and then Warrior Three. So the leg is straight up, back to Warrior One, and then down. Wedge yourself into the wall again, other leg, Warrior One, breathe, Warrior Three, Warrior One, and release. Okay. You can slip your hands out, or at least one hand out. And push yourself up. Go back in. I really like having my back heel at the wall for Virabhadrasana 1. You don't have to, but it does help with stability. So I step my right leg forward. I have the arms here. I take my arms up into Urdhva Namaskar. I push down into the back heel and come into Warrior One. And breathe. And then I push up. Okay, and out, don't trip over this. Do your other side. Okay. Feel how when you take the arms up like this, the whole rib cage lifts up. Okay, press into your back heel, bend your front leg. You don't have to go all the way into a square. Whoa, almost fell over. You don't have to go all the way into a square. And then come on up, turn your feet. Okay, so the next pose is why I'm not making these videos public. You guys that know me know my Warrior Three. My balancing poses are quite disastrous. But I'm going to do it anyway because I'm not shy. So, and I'll probably make you feel good about yourself. So here I am with the arms here. I don't want to kick the wall, but I do want to stay in the camera. Not really. I actually don't want to stay in the camera when I do this. So you'll take your arms up. This is going to be, as usual, a very quick demonstration of this pose. And you come. And if your foot touches the floor, it's fine. And I'm bending my standing leg a little bit because it does give me more stability. And there you go. Okay? And then you do your other side. Don't trip. was not entirely satisfying and you feel like, oh man, I can do it better if I just hold on to a wall just a little bit, then go ahead and do that, okay? And if you have good balance, then keep with that and do a pose that looks a little more like this, right? But with that thing on your hands. Yeah, I just have one finger on the wall. Sometimes that's all it takes. And then do the other side. And then come on out. No, I didn't come in classically. You could if you wanted to. All right, take Trikonasana now. Something with both feet on the floor. And open your chest. Okay, second side. Inhale, come up. Prasarita Padottanasana with dog pose arms. The shoulder blades, with the work that we did in the beginning of this little sequence here, this shoulder blades on the thoracic spine and the neck hopefully feel a little bit more fluid. So I'm pumping a little bit. You can take your head on the floor if you'd like, or not. And then make your way up. Okay, get your 2 blocks. If you happen to have a bolster or like a rolled up comforter or something that you'd like to use for Viparita Karani instead of the blocks, by all means do that. But I'm going to show you with these. So I go in like I'm going to take legs up the wall. Okay, so I'm right in there, the legs up the wall. And then what you'll do is you'll have your blocks. You press down the elbows and the shoulders. You press the wall, lift your buttocks up a little bit. The blocks don't go all the way at the wall, right? So you place them right on the sacrum. They're right next to each other. And you have to press down the tailbone. If I don't press down the tailbone, so I put my blocks there, I don't press down the tailbone, I get a pose that looks like this. And the corner of that block is not feeling so good. So when you press down, not only does it feel better by the sacrum there, but it also helps to lift up the chest. Now again, this is one where you can get a little tangled up in your t-shirt, so be careful. Breathe. And while you're here, you could take your legs wide. You could take Baddha Konasana. And take your legs back up again. And then bend your legs, bring your feet to the wall, lift up, untuck your shoulders, and lower yourself back down. And just relax here. focusing on your exhalations. And then take a deeper inhale, bend your legs, pause, and then bring your arm up overhead, roll to your side, and pause. And then push yourself. I miss you guys very much. Namaste.